Hey everyone, this is Andrew Ty and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you how to set up and install a PlayStation 2 emulator called PCSX2 onto the Steam Deck. So we're running the game Shadow of the Colossus, which is a PS2 exclusive, and we're running it on the SteamOS side. So we've got the full Steam overlay working, and this is running the Linux version of PCSX2. So today I'm going to show you how to go ahead and download and fully set this up so that this is fully working on the Steam Deck. So if you scroll down, you'll see that YouTube recently added a super thanks button. So if my video helped you today, what you can do is to donate some money, and the comment that you write is going to be highlighted so I'll be able to see it. All the money donated is going to help to support the channel and future content that I create. So what we need to do is to go ahead and press the Steam button here, and we're going to log into the desktop mode. So we're going to press switch to desktop. So once we switch to the desktop mode, what I'm going to do is to click on the Discover Software Center, and now we're going to do a search for PCSX2. So here we can find the emulator here. You can also find it by going into Applications, then go to Games, Emulators, and then you can scroll down this list until you find PCSX2. So now that we've selected it, we're going to press the install button here and then download and then install PCSX2. So once that's ready, we can go ahead and press the launch button here, and I'm just going to close the Discover Center, and you can see that we have the first time configuration option. So here I'm going to press next, and now we need to find the BIOS. So the PlayStation 2 BIOS is something that you're going to have to find yourself, or you can actually dump it from an existing PlayStation 2. If you just go to Google and type in PS2 BIOS, you're going to find the BIOS files. So we need to put the BIOS files into this folder here. To get to this folder, I'm going to unselect the default setting. I'm just going to go ahead and then copy and paste this path. Then I'm going to open up the File Explorer Dolphin. And then in the address bar here, I'm basically going to delete that, right click here and then paste. Press return, and then this is our BIOS folder. I'm going to paste files into here. So I'm just going to open up a new tab by pressing Ctrl T, and then I'm going to find my BIOS files. And basically these are all the files that you need. I'm just going to go ahead and copy all of these, right click, copy, and then we're going to go ahead and paste them into this folder. So I'm going to right click and then press paste. So the one that's really relevant is this one called seph10000.bin. That's going to be the default BIOS. Go back to the PCSX2 configuration and I'm going to press refresh list. Now it's picked up all of the BIOS files. So now I'm going to select the USA BIOS and double click on that. And now we have gone ahead and opened up PCSX2. So the first thing I'm going to do is to go to the config section here and then go to graphics. And the preferable thing to do is to change the internal resolution. So ideally we can set it to something like 720p. That's going to fit the screen resolution of the Steam Deck. And I'll close this. And the other thing that's normally best to do is go to general settings and then change the GS window and change this to widescreen aspect ratio. So a lot of the games are best played in widescreen. It depends on the game itself. Here I'm going to select widescreen and press OK, and then press create. So once that's configured, we're going to go ahead and double click on Steam. I'm going to add PCSX2 as a non-Steam game so that we can launch it from gaming mode. So here I'm going to go to games, and I'll click add a non-Steam game to my library. Then we can scroll down, and we're going to find PCSX2 and then do a check mark here, and then click add selected program. So once that's done, if I click on library, I'll see here that PCSX2 has been added, and this means that I can launch it from the gaming side. So here we're going to close the window, and what I'm going to do is to double click return to gaming mode. So I'm going to go to the library, and then we'll find PCSX2 under non-Steam, and you'll see here that PCSX2 is selected there. I'm going to open this up now. Now I'm going to press the play button. So now PCSX2 is opened up. So now I can go ahead and configure this as normal. So what I want to do is to go to Steam here, and I want to change the way that the controller works. So I'm going to scroll to the right here, click on controller settings, and we're going to make sure that we have gamepad with trackpad turned on. So that looks correct to me. And now we have the opportunity to actually load up an ISO. So I'm going to go to CD DVD, ISO selector, and then click browse. And we're going to browse for our PlayStation 2 ISO. So this is something that you should have downloaded already. Just make sure that you have your ISOs ready. If you can't find a PlayStation 2 game, you can find them online. Just type in the name of the game with the word ISO and PS2 afterwards. Or alternatively, you can easily create backups of PlayStation 2 games from your own collection. So what I'm going to do is to open up the game Shadow of the Colossus. I'm going to press open. So basically, once this ISO is loaded up, that means I can go to system and I'm going to click boot ISO. So now the game is loading up. So I've loaded up Shadow of the Colossus, and what I would advise you to do is to go to options first, and then make sure that you change the in-game settings for screen aspect ratio, and also do things like 10 progressive scan on, which is going to improve the graphics. So now we have the proper widescreen aspect ratio, and I'm going to press new game. Now this is working correctly. So one of the first things that you probably want to do is to be able to access the menu. So by default, we have to press escape on the keyboard. So I'm using my keyboard here and I'm pressing the escape key, and then we're getting to the actual main menu. But you probably want to bind that to a key because you don't want to be carrying around a Bluetooth keyboard everywhere. So what I would advise you to do is basically do some binding so that we can do things like save states or load states. So the way to do that is to go to Steam, and then we go to controller settings here, and then we're going to edit the layout. So I'm going to edit mine. I'm going to change some more trackpad behavior. So what I want to do is just change up. I'm going to change that to the keyboard layout, change it to the escape key so that I can always escape easily. And also a thing that I do a lot is save state. So I'm going to change this to the keyboard and change this to F1. So that means that at the top here, I'm going to escape, and then down here, I'm going to save state. So I'm in the menu now. I can press the top button here on the trackpad, and that's press escape. And if I do that, it's saved the state there. So I can constantly save. So what you can do is make sure that you stretch the Windows settings. You go to config, you go to general settings, and then you go to GS window, and then you switch the custom window size to 1280 by 800. And what that's going to do is to give a full screen view, no matter what the screen resolution is. So another quite handy performance tweak here is that we're running about 44 frames per second, but if we escape again, and then we go to config and we go to general settings, if we go down to speed hacks and we turn on MTVU multithreading and press OK here, I'm going to go back into the game. What you'll find is that we're running closer to 60 frames per second. So it's not quite solid there, but it's definitely running substantially faster, and it's taking advantage of more of the Steam Deck's hardware. So anyway, I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please like, please subscribe. I've got lots of other Steam Deck videos on my YouTube channel, so please check it out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.